Right, so Horobi here, this little bastard, he does this thing where he doesn't like to give me enough land in the early game. None of my other decks do this. I shuffle, I mulligan, and I get a land. I get 2 lands. He's got 39 lands, so that's not the problem. The problem is not the quantity. The problem also isn't that he's top heavy. He's got a lot of things that cost, 6 or up. The problem is he just doesn't give me enough land. So one way to fix it is card draw, but he's got sufficient card draw. He's got Friction Arena. He's got Erebos, God of the Dead. He's got Willis, Broker, which costs 8 to get out. What else does he have that draws me cards? He's got. See, that doesn't draw me cards. Bonder's Enclave. Oh, there's Erebos. That fucking glare, it's pissing me off. He's got some other things. Let's see. He's got Walking Atlas to get lands down if I draw them, but if I don't draw them, I can't get them down. He's got Harvester of Souls, which if his creature dies, I draw a card. But, how to fix this? Sacrifice creature, draw a card. Sacrifice one of my creatures, though. Gain life, draw a card. How do I fix this? So, card draw is one way. Adding more land is another way, but I don't really think going to 40 land is the solution. I don't really think I need it. Also, to be frank, a lot of lands, okay, they don't produce black, but this produces colorless. Thawing Glaciers finds lands, but I need mana to activate it. Bajika Bog comes into play tapped. Maze of Ith, land number 39, does not provide mana. It just protects me, and it works good with Horobi if I'm being attacked. Cabal Coffers does nothing unless I have swamps in play, and I can activate it. Lake of the Dead, of course, eats my swamps, but if I don't get the damn things, I can't really eat them. Last game was another typical game where it was about turn 4 or 5 before I really started getting any land, before I started being able to do anything, which puts me behind, which gets me, get the other lads, their setup period is turns 2 and 3, and I'm not setting up until turn 4, 5, 6. It's a fucking problem. So, to fix it, to mitigate it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him this. I'm going to give him my Sensu's Bunny Top, the one that has no home. So it's cheap to cast and cheap to use. 1 to cast, 1, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in your order. So I can dig a little deeper, essentially scry 3 and see if I can find more land. And once I get the land, scry into things that I want to cast, can cast. So that will go in. The question is what to take out, as always. There's the Blood Gift Demon. Beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card, loses 1 life. In addition to the other demon. What the hell is his name? When I find him, I'm going to take that guy out, I think. He doesn't really do much in this deck. What is it? Harvester of Souls. When a creature dies, you draw a card. But he needs to get started. He needs to get working. He needs to fucking do his job. Don't you, Horobi? You lazy son of a bitch. Where the hell is my Harvester of Souls? I bet it's in this pile over here. There he is. Yeah. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. Yeah, I'm going to draw a fucking card. There's no made to it. I'm going to do it. I want the cards. So, out of everything in the deck, I think I can most afford to lose Rakashi Debaser. So I wanted to take out something that has a high CMC to reduce the overall CMC of the deck. Even if it's by a small margin. He costs 6. Whenever he attacks, target creature card from defending his player's graveyard comes into play under my control. Okay, well first I have to cast him. Then I have to attack with him. He's got the Encore. I can exile and create a token copy of him. But in the games I've played, not only has he not come out, but he's not been sufficient. And there have been a few games where I've gotten the land I need, where I was able to start. But not that many. I mean, even Ishii was playing with the deck and he borrowed it. And first game, he got 2 lands, and one was Lake of the Dead. And he wasn't able to keep up because he kept having to eat his swamps in order to do anything. In the second game, I think he got 3 lands in the whole game before he died. The last game I played with Horobi, I got 3 lands, and that was it for a long time. And one of those is Cabal Coffers. When I was finally able to do anything, it's because Cube played this Tyrannid creature that makes all lands into command towers. All lands lose their other abilities, but you can tap them for mana of any color. So he actually made my Cabal Coffers usable, which wasn't really the result I was looking for, but it helped. So I was able to kind of get into the game. So that's what I'm doing. Try to mitigate Horobi. Give him a Sensi's Divining Top. Take out the Debaser. Is there anything else I could take out? He only costs 3, and he can get huge quickly. Number of creature cards in all graveyards. So he can get beefy fast. This is creature control, recovery, card draw. This is Horobi bullshit, and also protect. My creatures are going to die, and Horobi's not on the field. I can give them persist and they come back. If Horobi is on the field, my opponent's creatures are going to die. That's how that works. Then I have this guy. Haven't played him yet, but I haven't played a Horobi that much since putting him in. And I think he's going to be fun. 3 to black for a 1/1. And of course I put in a colorless card, and I took out a black card. So mathematically I made the potential of this guy a bit less assured. But still, if I spend 2 in a black, tap the Nightshade Seer, show off 4 black cards in my hand, even 3. If Horobi's on the field, it will kill the creature. If Horobi's on the field, I don't really need to reveal any cards. I can just reveal 0, and the target creature gets -0/-0 and dies to Horobi. So he still works with Horobi. If a creature is a higher toughness, say 6, 7, but it's taking combat damage, well, he can finish it off, because I can do this as an instant. I don't have, it's not activated only as a sorcery, any of that bullshit. Card is in here, so if anybody has artifacts in play, if I drop Horobi, I can turn non-creature artifacts into creatures and then kill them with Horobi. I can give them persist, and they become targeted and die. There goes your artifact. Willis, Broker of Blood, don't want to take him out. She costs 6, because she's in here to be kicked and to bring something back out of my graveyard. Let's see. Yeah, sack for that black creature, draw a card, gain life, make your opponents lose life whenever a Yara first lock coin or another black creature comes to play under my control. And it doesn't matter. If I play Grave Titan, if she's out and I play Grave Titan, that's a 3 life loss from each opponent, and I gain 3 life. So, because she doesn't care if it's a token or not, she just cares that it's a black creature. She doesn't give a shit. Shouldered, that tops out the mana curve at 7, and the return creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the last game I played, the only creature I had that was dead was What the hell is her name? I just saw her a moment ago. Yeah, Kiku, Knight's Flower. So wasn't it? But making my opponent sacrifice a creature during the upkeep, that's pretty cool. Scavenger, and he comes down low. Ritual Suit. I've got a lot of big creatures, so if I kill all the small creatures, it shouldn't hurt me too much. Especially when I have ways of getting them back. A lot of ways of getting them back. So that's why Ritual Suit is in here. Kiku, 2 black. Target creature punches itself in the face. Simulacrum. Color agnostic way of finding a land. Send spoiling. 1,000-year elixir. You may play the activated abilities creature you control as those creatures at haste. And 1 tap, untap target creature. So if Horobi is in play, I can use this to untap target creature and kill it. And also, my cards like Royal Assassin, Kiku, Nightshade Seer, all of them gain haste. I can use their abilities as though they had haste. So 1,000-year elixir works pretty damn good. Toxic Deluge, that's not coming out. Need a board wipe. Trading Post. I've drawn this. I keep drawing this, but I keep not casting it for various reasons. Last time I did not cast it was because the genie played who's that stupid black-red Titan. It comes into play. Everybody has to discard a card. If you discard a land card, you lose 3 life. He dies unless he escaped. So I discarded Trading Post because I didn't want to discard anything else. It was the least painful option. Murder Rider, no. Royal Assassin, destroy any tapped creature. Trained in the arts of stealth, the Royal Assassins choose the victims carefully, relying on timing and precision rather than brute force. Lifelink, yep, I need life in this deck because I've got Crick and I've got Willis, so I've got a potential to hurt myself real bad. Turmeric, chosen to control graveyards, black. He's basically like a weathered wretch. Withered wretch. Time to Seagull by Ocean of Black. Exile up to 2 target from graveyards. 1 life for each creature, yeah, so he's good. Doom Necromancer. Spin black. And if I've got the 1,000-year elixir, I can drop him. If I've got 4 mana, I can drop him to play. Spin a black, tap him. He dies, something else comes back. Cryptghast. If I've got the swamps that produce double. This guy, he's weird because he's decent as a card. 3/6/6 for a 5/5 flying shadow. Why he's got flying and shadow is extra. It's superfluous. He only needs one or the other because he cannot block anything that doesn't have shadow. Nobody else really plays any creatures with shadow, so he's going to get through pretty much no matter what. The other nice thing is this double black. So if I'm being attacked, I can spend double black a couple times if I've got the mana available, and creatures without shadow get -1, -0 until end of turn, meaning they hurt me that much less. And he's a 5/5, but he doesn't really fit anywhere. I don't know how many decks play him, but his price indicates, even for the foil, his price indicates he's not that valuable, he's not that respected. Excuse me. But on the surface, in a mono black deck, because it costs triple black, it seems like an okay card. I haven't had him in play yet to really see him in action. I just like the card, so he's here. Micaeus, the Unhallowed. He does shit. He does a lot of shit. I love the time that he killed Grayson's Tarn. That was fantastic. Had Micaeus in play, Cube did some Grayson Starn bullshit. Did a point of damage to every opponent. Grayson Starn says, hey, make it 3. Take another 2 damage. And McKay said, you hurt my master. Now you must die. And he killed Grayson Starn. Cube didn't expect that. But he saw that it was that it could happen. It's just this, whenever a human deals damage to you, claws, it doesn't come up that much. It's just kind of there and doesn't matter until it does. And then it's significant. One of those weird abilities. Like maybe this guy, maybe the flying will matter. I just don't see how it will, but maybe someday that will be relevant. Death denied. Okay, you're going to Bajuka Bog me. I'm going to snatch back my most important creatures at instant speed, so screw you. This is great with Horobi. Whenever you commit a crime, which is whenever you target anything your opponents have, he gets bigger. He can get bigger really fast with all the stuff in the deck. There's Crick, son of Yawgmoth. Last game I had Horobi. So, after Cube shut off all of our land and made them into command towers, I finally had the mana to cast him, so I cast him for 4 mana and 6 life. And I still lost because I couldn't get any card draw, I couldn't get anything going, but at least I was in the game for a little while. Tower of the Magistrate. This is funny. This is great. If you don't have one of these, get one. It's cheap. Well, it's not that expensive. I think it's going up, but I still don't think it's that expensive for a Mercadian Mask rare that's useful. Target creature gains protection from artifacts until end of turn. And you think, well, none of my opponents play artifact creature decks, so why should I bother? Do they play equipment? If they play equipment, you can give the creature protection from artifacts, and all their equipment falls to the ground. And if they're attacking, if somebody's attacking you with Crick, and he's got Sword of Feast of Famine, Sword of Fire and Fury, Sword of Fast and Furious, Sword of Milk and Cheese, they all fall to the ground, and then he's just running at you naked. He's like, oh, I dropped my armor and I dropped my swords. And then you can just block him and kill him. Shadun, the one-eyed, yeah, he works pretty good. I could put a Arcane Signet into the deck. I could easily have Arcane Signet instead of the Star Compass because it's more reliable. So this comes into play tapped. Arcane Signet does not. This also only adds mana that a basic land you control could produce. Arcane Signet reliably produces mana. It doesn't care what lands you have. So there's no restrictions. It's just you spend 2, comes into play, you can use it immediately for any color you want. I just like this. I like the way it looks. The comes into play tapped isn't that much of a downside usually. It's just pretty. And all my other fucking decks have Arcane Signet, so I wanted something different. Bajuka Bog, Volra Stronghold, snatch a creature out of your graveyard, throw it on top of your library. Noxious Gearhulk. Comes to play, you can kill something else. If a creature is killed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. So none of that, all of that works. It's just that Rakasha Debaser. I don't think he's going to work. Nyx Lotus. Okay, if I've got good devotion, I've got good mana. I don't really need her, all in all, on the surface of the deck. But what I do need is, what I want, not need, but want, is a way of, if somebody's going to exile one of my creatures, so I can put it in the graveyard, sacrifice it, to save it from that. I've got a higher mark in here too, but she also does the kind of similar thing. And gain life equal to the creature, and draw a card. So she does 3 things I'm looking for. She does 3 things I want. And if I have creatures I don't care about, like the zombie tokens from Grave Titan, yeah, okay, I'll sacrifice those so I can gain life, draw a card. No problem. Liliana of the Dark Realms. So, last game, I finally got Liliana out, so I was able to finally search for my swamps. As soon as she hit the board, The genie looked at her and read, oh shit. Because he knew what I was going to go for. He knew I was going to start chasing her ultimate. And I have done her ultimate before. There's one game with Cube that I've got on camera where I was getting lands. Horobi was working. Not that I cast Horobi, but the deck was working. And I did get the emblem. So all of my swamps produced 4 black. And I finished off Cube with something like a 29-point drain life. So she's good. He's got no home anywhere else because of the 4 black, so he kind of has to stay, and he's kind of good. I understand that making your opponents choose to take 5 damage or to lose permanents, that's something that you want. It's not something they want, but it's something you want. Icy Manipulator. Tap target artifact, creature, or land. And if Horobi's in play, if you tap a creature, it dies. There's the Bloodgift Demon. So he's basically Phyrexian Arena on wings. 5/4. So for 2 extra mana, you get a 5/4 flyer that is Phyrexian Arena. Nykthos, yeah, land I'm not even going to consider taking out. Do I need this? Do I really want this? So, return target creature card from graveyard to hand if you choose cons. Dragons. If you're just listing, I'm talking about Palace Siege. I've got a Palace Siege in the deck, and I'm wondering if I need it. I'm wondering if I want it. Maybe there's something, maybe the Debaser would be better. But he costs 6, this costs 5. And this helps me recover. So at the end of my opponent's turn that precedes me, directly precedes me, if I have the Grey Merchant of Asphodel out, and Palace Siege out, and Bushmeat Poacher out, I can sacrifice Grey Merchant of Asphodel, gain 4 life, draw a card, and then during my upkeep, if I've chosen cons, I can get Grey Merchant back into my hand. That sounds pretty good. Power Matrix. 4, and just tap it. No mana to spend, nothing. Target creature gets +1/+1 flying for a strike and trample until end turn. So if Horobi's in play, this will kill something. If Horobi's not in play, this will make something else I have a lethal threat. Urza's Cave. Go finds Urborg or Kabak, whatever I'm missing. Witch of the Moors. 5/4/4/4 Death Toucher. Beginning of my end step, if I gain life, each opponent, and it's only on mine. Imagine if it was every. It would have to be like a 7 mana mythic, probably. Oh, maybe not. I mean, you would have to gain life during your opponent's turn for it to activate. But still, if you gain life, each opponent sacks creature and turn up to 1 creature card from graveyard to your hand. Maze of Ith. So it either saves me temporarily if Horobi's not on the field. If Horobi is on the field, it will kill the creature that is attacking me because it targets. Plunder's Enclave, draw a card. Erebus, God of the Dead, already talked about him. 1 in the black, pay 2 life, draw a card. And your opponents can't gain life. That's been relevant a few times. That's been nice. Lake of the Dead. Eat your swamps for power now. Sacrifice your future. So you better win the game quick. Thief of Blood. Against Tyranids. She is hilarious. I actually got her into play. And Cube had a bunch of Tyranids. So she gained, let's see, they were 8 each. So she gained 16 counters from the 2 Tyranids. She gained 4 counters from the Genie's Planeswalker, and she gained 2 counters from Crick. So she was a 23/23 flyer. And then she got killed. But for a few minutes, it was glorious. Touch of Darkness. If Horobi's on the field, this is a one-sided border wipe. If Horobi's on the field, I can instantly change the color of any number of target creatures to black until end turn. And it targets them. So Horobi sees it and says, oh, well, sorry, they're all dead. They didn't even turn black, they just died. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Never gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Creatures control gain lifelink until end of turn. Sweet. Blood Artist. Whenever she or another creature dies. There's another one that says creature you control. I think it's the new one from Foundations. Vengeful Blood Witch. I think he only triggers off your creature. She triggers. She doesn't care. She doesn't care whose creature that is. All she cares about is the creature died. And she will drain my opponents and give it to me. Swamps. Look at that. There's 5 of them stacked up together. I need to shuffle better. Chainer. 3 black for 33. All nightmares get +1/+1. 3 pay 3 life. See, there's a lot of things in the deck that make me pay life. So the life gain is key. It's a delicate balance. Life gain versus the life loss effects. But at instant speed, triple black, pay 3 life, put target creature card from graveyard onto the battlefield under my control, and it becomes a black nightmare. In addition to everything else. And if he dies, it gets exiled. Exile all nightmares. So it's not like they can get the creature back. If I'm bringing creatures out with Chainer, and they decide they're going to kill Chainer in order to get through, no. Your dudes are exiled that he brought back. Grave Titan. He stays. Walking Atlas stays. So if I've got my card draw engine online, and if I've got this guy in play, I can start getting 2 lands into play a turn. Provided I'm drawing those lands. This is the newest, well, since the Defining Top is the newest addition to the deck, this is the previous newest addition to the deck. 1 black for a 1/1 with Extort. Pay 2 life, again, pay 2 life, remove a counter from target non-land permanent. Still not sure how good he's going to be in games. Still thinking about that. But the fact that he's so expensive, he's a €10 uncommon in foil. So that means there's a demand for him. That means people are playing him. I don't know where. Probably not Modern. So it has to be Commander demand driving his price. And if his price is that high, then he must be good. So I'll play him and see if I think he's good too. Jet Medallion, make my black spells cheaper. Yeah, that has to stay. Massacre Worm. 3 triple black, 6/5 Worm. When he comes into play, creature opponent control get -2/-2 until end of turn. So if your opponents have a token army, they've got a token army and they don't have any anthems out, yeah, they're going to get hurt real bad. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they lose 2 life. You've got 10 plants there, and you've only played 1 land, so they're all 1/2 plants. Yeah. Bang! They all die. You lose 20 life from the Massacre Worm. Drain life. He can finish something off. He can finish somebody off. Or he can just give me some life for a little while because I'm getting low. Nettling Pimp. 2 and a black. Tap. Force. Force a particular one. Its target. It should say force target non-wall creature to attack. But it says force a particular one of opponents. So you can't force your creatures to attack Nettling Pimp. If the creature cannot attack, it is killed in. So if they have a tapped creature and you activate the Pimp, it has to attack. And if it can't attack because it's tapped, it dies. It just dies anyway. So that's pretty cool. But you can't use it on a creature summoned this turn. So they have to be ready to go. Still, it's pretty amusing to think about that. Hunter Viblights comes into play. Put a +1/+1 counter target creature you don't control. So if Horobi's in play, this guy comes into play and essentially kills the creature. 2 and a black, destroy target creature with the counter on it. Doesn't matter what kind of counter. Doesn't matter where it came from. All he cares is kill it. So that's the change to Horobi. I wonder how it's going to work.